Hi everyone. Sorry we're
Hi.
late. We had tech issues. StreamYard wasn't working. And now it is. So we're here. We had to reschedule it. Stanislav had to reschedule it because it wasn't showing up anywhere. So we
Live.
were just talking to ourselves. So here we are talking about self-awareness. So I don't know if any of you know about self-awareness. Hopefully some of you come on and join us because we'd love to hear about you. And this is going to be our last live in the group or in the groups and on the page for now. So it'll be lovely to have some of you join us. Say hi. Let us know. Stanislava said yes because we're live. Let
Live.
us know. I think you have to kind of approve to show your comments so then I can see who it is. And then obviously I'll read the comments after. Stanislav says, I am here. So today we are talking about self-awareness, consciousness, and routines. So self-awareness and consciousness is key in life and business. So what does it actually mean? So being consciously aware is in like being in the present moment of things, and being aware of what triggers you and what makes you dysregulated. Um, and it's all about kind of like knowing yourself and your thoughts, your emotions, your body sensations, and whether they align with your values, your standards, and like and where you, like your kind of your path that you like that you're on your journey and what you're kind of what that area might be, because self-awareness shows up in all areas of our life. So you'll be kind of might be self-aware of something in particular, and it's not always kind of in business. Um, but it's to know like with your body sensations and being aligned with your values and standards is to basically know when your body feels out of alignment. So it's a funny way of telling us, and sometimes this might show up in kind of illness, stress, tension, and it's also our natural internal system telling us something like something's not quite right. And so like as we kind of go on, and Nicki's going to kind of lead with some kind of examples and situations that we might be faced with. And like I said, it like kind of we need to have self-awareness in every area of our life because we can't change it. So we need to be self-aware to change it, whether that's relationships, our diet, our relationship with money, anything in business. It's about a journey, isn't it? And it's learning, and it's kind of being aware of them situations and them triggers that like kind of we come up against, and we need to know what that trigger is so we can prevent it from happening. um and sometimes there might be in situations where it like if you're on a personal like development journey like I have been over the last few years, a lot of my self-awareness like is now that when I look back, even though I've kind of moved on from that kind of behavior, but it's been my journey that's brought me more self-awareness now, that I think like, oh, actually I would do that different next time, or I wouldn't do that. So sometimes it's about you might kind of discover that self-awareness about something that's happened in the past, but how you could prevent that from happening. It might not be like just about having self-awareness of something that's happening like right now in the present moment. Because it's all part of a journey, isn't it? And it's kind of learning. But as like Nicki thought, she's going to give some more examples as well anyway.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah, well, Nicki.
So even though I think that me personally, I think that self-awareness and consciousness is different, I still think that they are um, partly together. And the reason why I say that is that self-awareness is different because self-awareness, you are more in touch with your things about you, things about what your belief systems are, what not being dragged into what others think about you, or you're not trying to please people. That's more being self-aware. You're more connected to your values, your key belief systems, and you're not drawn into pleasing others. So that's more self-awareness. But consciousness is different. So consciousness is looking at it if you like, is like Christine mentioned, in a broader aspect. So with consciousness, you're looking at how your body reacts to things, how your sensations react to things, how your senses react to things. And even though they are linked, we believe that they are linked, they are very different. And so we believe that being self-aware and having consciousness is key in business and in life generally. Because when we think about it, so if we're thinking about from a personal perspective, so we can't change a negative or dysfunctional relationship until we have awareness of it. We can't change it until we have awareness of ourselves. So what do we attract in a relationship, for example? What will we accept in a relationship? So when we've got self-awareness and consciousness, they're coming together. What we accept in it, what patterns do we repeat? We're looking at an external thing. We're not trying to blame other people. We're not trying to seek validation from out sources. We're looking more in depth at things. So another example in business is we can't change something that's not working. So until we have the awareness of something, we can't change it. So it may be something that's being communicated, and it may be being communicated via our clients. It may be communicated in something that we're doing via technical issues. Like today, tech wasn't working for us, but we could blame tech issues. We could say it's StreamYard's fault, it's the internet's fault, it's this fault, it's this. And when you have self-awareness and consciousness, we're not blaming other people. We're not blaming external things for our failings, if we like. We're looking at, okay, so what is it that we're attracting? What is it that we can do to change this? And we're looking at it as an outside thing as well as an internal thing. So what is being communicated? Maybe it was being communicated to us that actually tonight wasn't the right time to go live. Maybe we needed this time to then go live another time. It could be in your sales or marketing. So if you're not selling anything or your marketing techniques are not working, then looking at actually what is it behind the scenes that might be happening in a self-awareness thing and a conscious thing. What are you creating? What are the patterns that maybe are forming? Maybe it doesn't align with you. So therefore, your marketing or your sales are not working because actually you're not in true alignment with yourself, with your core beliefs or your core values, and you're just marketing and doing a sales thing because that's what you should be doing, or that's what other people do, or whatever that is. It has self-awareness and consciousness is about being grounded. It's about having that ability to stay true to yourself and your beliefs, but also self-awareness and consciousness is not just looking at you as an egotistical thing, saying, do you know what, that person doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, I'm just tunnel visioned and I'm going for it. It means having the awareness of what you are creating and how others see you as well. So if you're not communicating something, looking at it as more a conscious thing, and seeing what others, how are you communicating that, and what do other people maybe get from how you're communicating? What do other people internalize or take from what you're communicating, for example? So there's so many different things in business. It's marketing, the list is endless. It could be anything, but it's just having an awareness of it as well. So the truth is, we've probably had many previous experiences when we've not been consciously aware and we don't take any notice of it. And that's okay, because all of this is a learning curve. Me and Christine often talk about learning. We often talk about life is a journey. And even though it's a bit of a cliche, life is a journey and we're all here to learn, but it's so true, because we've learned so much personally and professionally. And if it wasn't for these experiences that we've learned, we wouldn't be where we are today. And we really, really do believe in a mindset and well-being way that there's no way that anybody can fail in business, because everything that you do is a learning curve. Everything that you do takes you to the next step in where you want to be in business. And we've all been put here to do something, haven't we? So being self-aware allows you to form your own beliefs, your own views, your own opinions, and they're separate from what other people believe or think about you. So how often do we go along with what someone else suggests? How often do we please other people? Are we really confident in our decision making? Do we make wise choices in how we communicate to others? Are we able to communicate effectively? And the reasons why sometimes we're not able to do all of these things is because we're not connected to ourselves properly. We're not aligning with our own beliefs, our own values, and what sits with us consciously at in-depth bodily experience. And like Christine mentioned before, our body then, when we're not aligned with ourselves consciously in our body, then we manifest things like illnesses and tension and anxieties and all things like this. So that's why self-awareness and consciousness does come in, and it does what am I thinking? It does connect. Yeah, it does connect. So when we look at how others view us, when we're looking at consciousness as well as self-awareness, we look at how others view us, like I'd mentioned before. We look at how others view us in the world, how others maybe view our thoughts and feelings and our behaviours, how we fit in an environment, and others around us, how they fit in with us as well. So it's more of, I suppose, an internal view of how we are. We want to know how we fit in with the world, and an external view is how others, the bigger picture, how others see us. So when we think about a relationship, for instance, in business with our clients, an internal view is how we feel about it, how we feel about how we envisage the client, how we perceive the client to be, how we connect with the client, what our feelings are, what is the transference with the client, what is the communication with the client, what are the feelings with the client. But when we're thinking more externally in a consciousness way, it is about not only how we do it, but what is their perception of us? How do they view us? What is their views and opinions on us? So it's very different from just being insular and being egotistical, like I mentioned earlier on. Being consciously aware is looking at the bigger picture of things. So when I say this to somebody, how are they going to take that, and how are they going to respond to that? Instead of thinking, well, if I say that, then I mean this. It's all about our internal system and what we think and believe. So being self-aware, as we said, is not an egotistical thing, because we're bringing self-awareness and we're bringing consciousness into it as well. And it's okay, because each of us bring this own element into all of our relationships we have, whether that is personal, whether that is business. So for instance, someone that is not self-aware in business, they keep making the same mistakes. They keep going through the same patterns, the same cycles. Me and Christine have spoken about that before. Or they overlook the same task in business, and they always get, more often than not, the same results in business. This is someone that is not self-aware in business. It may be someone that is not self-aware in their relationships, They have the same thought about somebody, like their partner or a family member, that maybe they don't pay them enough attention, or they feel taken for granted, or they don't feel loved. And they have these constant feelings about this person, whether professionally or personally in their life, that keeps happening over and over again. That is a person that is not coming from a self-awareness mindset or a conscious mindset. It may be that you have the same in money, the same cycle of money patterns happen again. Maybe money comes in really easily, but then money goes out really easily. So the same patterns are created again. And this is someone who is not self-aware. So all of these examples mean that we continue with the same patterns and the same examples. Being self-aware and having consciousness means that we change these. We actually look internally and externally at how other people perceive us and what our relationships are like with these people, whether that be relationship, whether that be business, whether that be money, whether that be anything materialistic, whatever it may be. But we are changing the way that we're viewing and having these things in our life. So things like mindfulness will help. Things like meditation can help with things like this. We often speak about mindfulness and meditation. And the reason why these sorts of things help with all of these things with being self-aware and consciousness is because you're coming back into the present moment. And all of these things are about being in present moment. And do you know what my daughter said to me? We was away for her 21st, that was in the end of September, but we had a weekend away in Herne Bay this weekend. And she said to me, Mum, do you know what? I've really enjoyed this weekend and I'm not looking forward to going to work, but it's not because I don't enjoy work. And I know that my work pays for my lifestyle. And I think I need to be more in the present moment because I'm constantly looking at the next thing that I can enjoy or the next thing that's coming. And it was a really it was a really nice conversation to have with her because she knows obviously what me and Christine do. And she said, I think I need to be more in the present moment because I'm always looking at either the past or the future, and I need to enjoy what's here at the moment because you can't keep wishing your life away, can you? Do you agree with that, Christine? You can't keep wishing that something. Obviously, it's lovely to have something to look forward to, but we need to be more present in the present moment. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I really, really do think that helps with self-awareness and consciousness, because we need to think about what are we doing at the moment. So I look forward to my holidays, I look forward to my weekends. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy the work I do. I love the work that I do. We love working with the parents and the children and the businesses and the mindset stuff and all of the things that we do. But I don't want to get to the point where I'm living to work. I want to work to live. And also with that, I want to be able to live and enjoy this present moment that we're in and not keep wishing my life away. And I think self-awareness is part of that. It's being present. It's being in that moment and enjoying what's there at this time. And mindfulness and meditation can absolutely help with that. Me and Christine are mindfulness teachers, obviously, and we do mindset stuff as well. And I really do believe that will help to transform your life and help you be in the present moment. And we've spoke about mindfulness before, meditations. It doesn't mean that you need to be doing long, drawn out meditations, but you can do as well. But just having them moments of self-awareness and mindfulness and being in the present moment really helps. Also, what helps to become self-aware and have consciousness is reflection. It's about having reflection and being having journaling time and working and writing down what works for you or what doesn't work for you. I still do journaling. Do you do journaling, Christine, still? And have reflection time?
Yeah, not as much as you should, but then you're kind of like guilty, aren't you? And like in kind of creating them habits. And I was just thinking like when I was thinking back about like some of the other things that I don't know if we've spoken about time management in the group. I don't know if we done that. I'm not too sure, but I was just thinking like how all of this like, and I know that I have said this like several times when we have gone live, like how it all kind of like interlinks and connects, like, and it's all about like mindset and well-being. And from when you were saying about Rosie and you was talking about like kind of having, I think like with time management as well, isn't it, that you manage your time well in the week so you don't overwhelm yourself, and and instead of like wishing like the week away, and you can enjoy your work more, can't you, and your week more, because you plan out your time better. And I was just kind of thinking about that and how they all, and obviously all of the things that we're saying, like gratitude journaling, we say every time we talk, don't we? So they're the same kind of tools and techniques that you can kind of use that just generally help you.
They do, and I think there's so much cliche about mindfulness, meditation, journaling. There's also, this is not rocket science. This is nothing new. We are not coming up with anything, a new science. This is stuff that has been proven over and had so much research over. But I think it's not until you actually do these things and you live in the present moment and you take some of the tips and suggestions that us and other people have said, that it really makes a difference to your life. It's made a difference to our life. It's made a difference to other people we work with in their life as well. And it's not one thing has a major life transformation thing. I think it's all of these things that we talk about that all together, these little things build up to a bigger picture. Do you agree, Christine? And they all have their own different things, work for different people, don't they? But each of them, and there's a lot of things in well-being and mindset and meditations and all of them things, but all of these little things create a bigger picture and help you in the long run with everything. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. Overall, yeah, definitely.
And I do think, and having self-awareness, and you know what, I do remember saying this to a friend before. I don't know if I've said it to you, Christine, but asking for other people's opinions. So I don't mean that in a way that you're asking for validation from somebody else, is in how you are. But I think when we become self-aware and we have consciousness, it's very much about how others perceive us as well. And we need to know how others perceive us to have that self-awareness and consciousness. So it's not an egotistical thing, like, I think that you're brilliant and this, because with that, we are going to have to face the negative things about us as well. So when we ask others for their opinions of us, it helps us to be self-aware. It helps us to raise our consciousness, because it's helpful to know how others perceive us. It's helpful to know how others view us. And everyone's different. And if I ask Christine about awareness about myself, it helps us also to grow. But Christine's views and opinions of me are going to be very different to what Stacey's views and opinions of me. And that's okay. But collectively, when we ask people what their views and opinions, how do I come across when I say this, Christine, for instance? We're asking for someone else's opinion. And I think that other people's opinions, I know, can be hurtful at times, and I know that they can be difficult to accept at times, but sometimes we really believe in the work that we do. They help us to grow. They help us to have more awareness of ourselves, because it's very hard to have awareness of yourself because you block things out.
It comes down to like limiting beliefs and that as well, isn't it? Because I was thinking when you're saying that, and I've just completely lost my train of thought. So carry on.
So yeah, because when we ask for when we look at ourselves, we are only going to have awareness of so far, and this is where self-awareness and consciousness come in. You can't be conscious of things if you've got no self-awareness, and you can't be self-aware of things when you haven't got the consciousness, because a lot of the things that we have and a lot of the things that we do in life are unconscious. Some things are conscious, yes, but a lot of it is buried deep down. And then it takes these repeating patterns for them to come out. But it takes a consciously aware person to be aware of the patterns that they keep creating. And sometimes we can't see them ourselves, so we need other people to point them out to us. And that is why therapy is counselling, therapy, whatever you want to call it, coaching, mentoring. That is why these sorts of interventions, these sort of help, these sort of business strategies all help, because you will be aware of things or become aware of things that are not conscious to you. Other people will need to point them out to you so you could be conscious of them, so then you have awareness of them. So that's why they all have a knock-on effect. So can you remember what you were going to say?
No, yeah, it was because I wasn't going to say it because you'd kind of moved on, but then you came back to it. It's like having, like, maybe some people are not so much on the personal development and they're not kind of this like self-awareness and conscious in their personal life. But actually, it's the same as asking for feedback in business, isn't it? So I think everyone in this group is in business. So it's exactly the same. And it's not coming from that egotistical position where you want to obviously have all that good feedback. Of course, we want good feedback. We want good testimonials. But actually, there's going to be sometimes that we are going to get feedback. But actually, that allows us to learn and grow and change. But sometimes that can be hard. But I think it becomes it's depending on where you are in life and where you are on your journey, and like your personal journey with regards to like limiting beliefs, your consciousness, self-awareness, and then blocks. Because why is that like negative feedback that you're getting on your course, your program, your product, whatever that is? What's triggering you? It's a trigger. It comes back to a trigger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of thinking about when you were saying about that. I was thinking about feedback. So yeah,
I think that
works the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I actually think that is really true, like you said. And yeah, definitely we don't like negative feedback, but the negative feedback helps us grow, and we always need to be looking at, like you say, it's not an egotistical thing. We're not asking for validation from other people, but we want that feedback to help us to grow. And not all testimonials, like you say, are going to be great, are they? So I think that helps self-awareness and consciousness, because without that we can't evolve, we can't grow, and we can't learn. So
yeah, definitely,
yes, I agree with you.
So I don't know if anyone's no one's on or got any questions, but we just want to make an announcement. So back a couple of months ago, we created a program for anxiety in business, and we had actually launched this before anyway, but we are actually trainers on Udemy now. And so we launched this yesterday, our anxiety in business on Udemy. So Stanislav has given us permission to share it. So I'm going to share the link in the comments. I think I don't know if I have to go on the group to do it because I've not got it on my laptop. So I will do that after and share the link if you would like to head over. And actually, from when we've done it before and launched it, we've actually added in another another module. And I think that, again, talking about everything that we talk about, like some of this will be like within that program, and how that we obviously we're talking about anxiety and how that what that looks like and how that shows up for us. But obviously a lot of this that we talk about is, again, having that self-awareness, isn't it? And it's and so yeah, Stanislava, let's celebrate together. Thank you. I've got an empty cup of tea, so cheers.
Cheers.
Me and Nicki are actually out next Saturday, so we'll celebrate then.
We will, definitely.
So yeah, so thank you. Stanislava, I don't know if you've done our anxiety in business course, but obviously it's on Udemy now anyway. There's a few people. We did have not egotistical, but a good feedback on our course. Obviously, we adapted it and changed it anyway, and added more in, but we did have one testimonial back, so that's always good, isn't it?
Christine, we are trainers on Udemy.
Yeah, we are.
So, check us out.
I will check you out. Thank you, Stanislava.
Thank you.
So thank you for having us in here. I know we're not doing any talks in December. Who knows what will bring us in 2022? And hopefully, we've loved being in here and learning and growing and doing our lives over the month. So thank you for having us. Thank you, Stanislava, for having us as well.
Thank you. And listening to everyone else's lives, because there's so many great professionals in here, isn't there, that we've learned from as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, thank you. If you've got any, I'm sure hopefully we'll cross paths anyway. But if you've got any further questions or anything you want to ask or add, and please connect with us. Maybe I can share our page or something in the links in the comments as well. And Merry Christmas, even though it's not Christmas yet.
Merry Christmas and happy 2022.
Yeah. So
thanks for having us.
Bye.